Sending it toward Pit here. Smoothie's keeping up as well with the P250. We'll try and tap him down there. Oh no, he's here. He should get swarmed pretty quickly, but no. Alu is the first one to fire off and put his name on the scoreboard after 5 months out in this best of 3. Alex will answer back toward S-Tag and actually gets a second toward JKS as well. Recovers it into a 3 versus 3. Could be anyone still, this one.
Alu himself isn't going to be able to give help straight away. Instead, it's going to be Blame who actually peeks in. Has pretty much the kill served on a platter, but it was a massive struggle, and Smooya and Alex end up getting it done. They open up the A-bomb site, despite what had looked like a really good position for Complexity on the hold, and now it's all on Coldzera. We know he's capable, but it's a 1-on-3 that Fnatic shouldn't be given away. He gets the first for himself, taps away on the head of Alex, and it's fallen suddenly all onto Crims, and he gets it done. What a round from Coldzera to kick things off. And they still have 1 UMP, which is actually just going to lead the charge down mid. So clearly Blame F knows what they're up against. They want to try and build up some cash against these Kevlarless opponents. And again, 2 SMG kills within just a couple of seconds of the round kicking off. And although they will get the trade, you can see it focused their numbers heavily in towards the bottom of mid. It forced them all to commit to the swing. Which gave the M4 then a pretty easy time peeking down mid, and to Coldzera as well, swinging in from second mid. S-Tag gives his head over. Brolan not going to be missing. They've got 1 player now trapped in at the back of the bomb site, and that's JKS. He's got to hold strong, trying to take that initial fight while he could isolate the 1-on-1, but he falls straight away to Alex.
In that round, actually, it was basically all Brolan. I mean, obviously, Queen said coming in, Coldzera just about managed to save his gun. How on earth?
And while Fnatic are taking their time, despite getting onto the bomb site, it's taken them a while to even start putting that bomb into place. I was going to say, without fresh smokes now, they could have been in a bit of trouble. But Mezzy does at least have his crosshair trained in on construction. Good to drop the low health player, now leaving it in a 3-on-3, but the health does still slightly favour the CTs. And indeed, Complexity going forward. It's Coldzera again who looks to clean up, getting at least 2 of them, and ensuring then that for Blame F, the trade is there on the swing. You had Alu ready as well from construction. S-Tag doesn't know that. He's forced to stay in towards construction. He's actually been spammed up pretty heavily now as the bomb goes down. And I'm somewhat surprised Complexity have moved all the way in as Alex again W's through a smoke. Why the hell not?
Oh, okay. I mean, every single wallbangs in the world is coming in right now. Unfortunately, Coldzera is left in a 1 versus 4. Now he's been tagged down to 56 HP, despite the HP that he's put Mezzy down to, I reckon. That's probably it. I mean, yeah, that is, that's not Alu being Alu. That is just Alex, quite literally, taking matters into his own hands and charging for a smoke. And unfortunately, catching the timing on Alu's AWP shot. Obviously, you got to bolt the AWP again before you shoot. And, yeah, Alex took advantage of it. Looked like he wanted to have that planned in his mind from the very beginning. Fnatic will pounce.
Yeah, indeed, as you said, the 3 spots on the line. Best of 3 double elim, so the loser of this game won't be out, but it'll make things significantly harder, rather, with the need for tomorrow to be played out as well. But what an entry already there from Coldzera, or rather a hold to kick things off as they were pushing forward. It was perfect timing with the smoke blooming afterwards, and there's absolutely nothing being found for Fnatic right now. Smooya was somehow caught in the open on top of the hay, and he wasn't really able to get too much done. He was greeted from behind with a big hello. Position already known, at least kicks it off with a quick kill. That molly, I think, to flush him into the open, it will actually send them in that direction. I thought he'd be able to use the smoke for cover, but he just wanted to take the fight, and it works out initially, but somehow Fnatic with the aggression again have managed to turn it around. They eventually trade on the bomb site. Crims just charged through the construction smoke, and suddenly they have a 3-on-2, but the health is not ideal.
Complexity's way with the health on Fnatic in that situation. But of course, it's 100 to kill, so you can't really put it down solely to luck, and to at least try and sell the fake further. And it's okay. I mean, it's kept 3 players toward B while Fnatic go up short, and it could work out for them. Alu does get his 1 kill, and it activates Coldzera to peek, but he can't get anything. Mezzy gets a double entry. Great stuff from him. And although that JKS has taken Crims, they have a 3v3 afterplant to work with.
It's going to be a 5th round being taken for Fnatic. You've got to think, if they had have taken the round earlier on where they were just up against the rifle and some pistols, then they likely would have been on track for a tremendous half right now. It could have been a little bit more one-sided to them, but they're still getting themselves a decent T-side here. That's really going to make things a bit more complicated. Fnatic are very aggressive on the afterplant as well. Bit of a two-way street, I suppose, here. This could even be a little bit dangerous for them, but they managed to trade it out effectively, hanging on to initially the advantage, and managing to at least then keep the trades going forward in their direction as Mezzy, while blinded up there, finds Alu, leaving it all on Blame F. He'd been held at bay by the Molotov, and I don't think he's going to be given the chance to back off either, with Smooya here on the op ready. And they actually go for the double peek. That's really smart, just to make sure Smooya gets away cleanly and that they don't potentially lose the op.
But, yeah, 7 to 5. I mean, if you get past this, you know, Scout, M4, double deagle combination, you have a real shot at making it a 10-5 on the T side. And that's fantastic for them. S-Tag will get checked close up as well by Crims. He knows all his angles. And that should be the main threat dealt with, unless Coldzera can do something ridiculous. He might catch us timing toward Mezzi, and will. That's a gun that can be recovered. If then Blamer can get some tags here through the smoke, it could be possible, but
he's going to stick around for now, seeing if he can maybe give them a hand to kick things off. In the back lines, of course, where he has the ability if he wants to just fall away, but he's found the initial kill. It will eventually cost him his life, but it looks like Fnatic with that try to make a little, or rather Complexity with that try to make a little bit of a pounce. And even though they don't really have the time to win out the round, as you can see, they're doing a ton of damage. They were keeping the players around the bomb, just getting the kills even in the end. And well, we'll see whether BlameF can get the final one. Not quite. Crims just about hangs on
to look for some of the information, but he might be a bit late. Roland will take Alu, and there's Crims catching Blame on the rotation, completely unaware that Long's like completely open, and Coldzera can only get one. So 4 versus 2, A site clear.
Before that, they've been shown some pretty good results and taken down some teams, I think, as well, such as Evil Geniuses. Yeah, I'm surprised it's come in, though. I mean, it was looking like Complexity were going to get themselves a bit of a lead going, even when they turned things around after taking that weaker bye for themselves. But no, it's been a real struggle. They've been losing these sites incredibly quickly. And a lot of the time, obviously, as we've seen, have just been forced into saves. It's not an option now, so they are trying to make this retake work, but it's even the initial player moving in solo. He didn't have any of the backup ready. They weren't quite actually prepared for the retake to come in, and with that, it's going to be the 10-5 coming in for Fnatic at the halftime, looking absolutely fantastic here on Inferno.
Bit of damage shown early on, and that will actually force them back toward the A side of the map. Ali was close up toward the apartments, but he's about to be pinched from short as well as Crims. He now has to fall back surely toward Pit. Everyone's going to be making their way up towards short. Smooth is just going to headshot all of them. It's an absolute wipeout for Fnatic. No losses at all. 11-5, and that is Complexity already looking rough toward Crims. Taking a lot of damage for it though, and Smooth just gets off the angle as they go towards shot. He's going to be pinched between 2 different positions now, but he's got Alex to help out in Pit. He gets the first, looking for a second as well, and look at the frags from Alex coming in. How about that? Out of nowhere, it's recovered into a 1 versus 2 for JKS, but he can't recover the bomb in time, and Brolin will take his head off. A decent amount of work with those grenades. More ship damage to Alu and JKS. Coldzera is here, but look at the amount of damage, despite the fact that he does take the head off of Alex. Okay, JKS, he's here to play. And it's actually a fantastic situation for him. Crims will actually get 2 in response, and now the HP is a problem, but it's still a 2 versus 2, I tell a lie. Smooth answers back and makes it a 2 versus 1. Now it's all down to Coldzera. And I'm not sure there's really much he can do about this. 35 seconds to go. Bit of chip damage as he spots the leg of Mezzi, but Smooth's going aggressive for it. He wants to kill. He should know how low he is. Collier was trying to play around with the angle, but not to be.
Has it been a little bit more competitive? Have we seen some glimmers of hope from Complexity, as we said we're going to need for a second map, as Coldzera tries the balcony drop? I admire the attempt, but they're still playing this double short setup that seems to just tear things apart. It's going to be an incredibly convincing round from Fnatic to go ahead and shut that one out, and we get a 16-6 scoreline. And I've got to tell you, it's not what I was expecting coming into that first map. I expected it to be a bit more competitive. Yeah, that first map was incredibly rough from Complexity. You said Fnatic took it. I mean, it was more of just they snatched it. That's how I'm going to go ahead and put it. But a good opening kill from Alex, as he's actually going to kick things off in favour of Fnatic. We said Complexity, obviously, with the clutch of Coldzera, had an amazing pistol round to kick off Inferno. But they've just lost everyone. It's already a 5-on-2. We don't even really get to see what's going on, because the kills are pretty much simultaneous across the map. And suddenly it's left on JKS and Coldzera to try and save the day. I mean, if there was 2 players you could put this towards, these are probably the 2 I'd choose for sure, but it still doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Even a couple of kills would be optimistic, and well, it's all on Cold now. He's going to need another incredible clutch. He starts it off with a kill on Brolin. They could have the ability if they want to try and drop down the vent, but it's not really looking to be the play. They do have Coldzera trying to lead the way out of Hut up against the MP9 of Mezzi. Alu actually got the initial frag, but Brolin here to hold off with that FAMAS. Gets 3 of them on the cleanup, and then Alex, despite being blinded by his teammate, just spams the angle.
And they'll have another chance later on. But Brolin is doing even more work on the fan. I'm sure he doesn't get another one. Oh, he does as well. And even dinks BlameF. Goodness me, Brolin. 3 kills on the fan again. Can you believe it? Crims is now here to defend. Get at least 1. And, you know, it could work out because they've got decent utility still on S-Tag. I mean, he's got Molotov nades, but Brolin is playing a lovely angle and will just catch the head of Coldzera and can fall back as well. And they've just been so good at this so far, Fnatic. They're just not risking these particular picks. that could possibly put you in a tough situation, and Brolin once again gets a 3-piece. I mean, goodness me, he's come to play today, whatever he's up against, whether it's rifles, pistols, whatever. Now it's blamef once again in a 1 versus 5, and he gets the first, but yeah, and that's only for a bit of money. He will spam him down with the deagle, and
well, again, we're seeing a relatively slow round coming in here in this opening gun round. A little bit of spam damage, I believe, landing there, and well, an opening kill from Alu. Big find.
Yeah, and that's the... Honestly, I feel like that's the first time we've seen that in this entire best of 3 so far. He hasn't really been given the chance, I would say, to do anything special on the AWP as of yet, and especially getting a pick on the T side is very nice, and will even get himself a second as well. And here we go for Complexity, some control toward outside. Spear is now really the only one that can probably bring this one back, because JKS is a little bit of a lurk toward lobby that I think Smooya just spotted. But with Crims, you know, in a position that is hard to find, yeah, I mean, that's it.
I've got to say, though, it's a good sign with Brolin fragging well there for Fnatic. I said, obviously, Crims and Brolin, they struck
of JKS first, and it works out perfectly. Thankfully for Complexity, they have a little bit of map control still. blamef has the vents, they have secret, but Brolin knows it, and he's in a very tough spot to really multi-frag from this angle. He's having a bit of an off angle though, and it could work out, and it does. With blamef being the only one there, that could be another sign that Complexity are just going to be going in a little bit one by one, and with Crims taking S-tag, it's only Alu and coldzera. They are here, but the bomb has been spotted. It's in the Windows position, and it can be recovered, but that's really the only thing going for them. Smooya will stop Alu on the double doors. Now it's all coldzera. Gets the first, but now he's in a very, very tough situation. Already getting flanked by Alex. That's Alex's ninth kill.
Is obviously, but they have so few nades behind it to actually try and get things going, and they've already lost S-attack to Smooya. A quick pick outside. He was, I believe, trying to get the wrap going towards main to see if they can maybe get a bit of a split rather on A. And JKS ends up actually getting caught trying to push forward on his own as well, so nothing is working out. Individual plays right now from Complexity that are being punished, and Fnatic, despite having the advantage, decide they want to continue going forward with the aggression as well.
It's a rough one for Complexity at the moment. They don't really have much in way of plan, and even though that flash is good, Mezzi will just swing anyway. Take a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter. It's a 4 versus 2. Now it's all down to blamef, and Brolin knows where he is. He guesses that heaven lurk, and you need a bit of confidence, don't you? I mean, when you know you're on 0 for a while, it can be hard to answer back. It looks like it's going to be a pounce toward the A site here, but Mezzi is in position. Gets a good amount of damage to Alex before they eventually push in. But unfortunately, it's into the mixer, and Mezzi will get himself 3 on the defense. Very, very easy for him. And, you know, and just having the stand-in as well of Alu, it's just such a tough situation to feel motivated in a situation where, you know, it's just not going to work out, and Mezzi's going to get himself another kill with the fire and flames. Brolin is there to help out for another 2. blamef actually does answer back for 2, and it makes it 2 versus 3 with a gun that can be recovered, but other than that, I'm not sure really what you can do. The bomb is dropped on the site. It can be recovered by Alu, and there's a gun for him as well, but there's already 2 coming in from behind. That is Alex and Crims ready to flank this bomb plant pretty quickly, and there's Alex dealing with blamef. He gets dinked down to 1 HP somehow, and let's see what Alu can do. First clutch we've really seen,
as Alex is the one who's actually on his way down through secret, and with only a single point of health. I'm not sure how aggressive he wants to get. Indeed, despite opening the door, doesn't actually commit to the fight. The hope was to maybe pull him off at a bomb, but they won't be able to do that, so Alu at least confirmed.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get through, isn't it? I mean, Fnatic are showing, you know, despite the fact, obviously, as I've said, you know, losing the last 4 nukes, I haven't played one with Smooya, and I think they've really put the work into this one. You know, Alex loves nuke, and once again, he's going to have another frag. That's 15 and 2 for Alex. And it's 12 and 3 for Mezzi as well. Just ridiculous how little they've died in this game. And that shows the dominance of Fnatic in this game. Complexity really struggling. S-tag will jump over the AWP angle. Actually will fake out the shot towards Smooya, but it actually doesn't. He still takes Alu anyway. I'm not sure if he got Alu by accident, but still, it's now once again all down to blamef. And that's been something that we haven't said for the first time. It forces them away. So 50 seconds to go. He does have a chance to make something happen on the angle. We'll look for it, but Crims too strong. I mean, he's
been working out for him, as I said. I don't think he's too worried about his personal stats as long as the wins are coming. blamef, he's not going to drop straight down the vent. See, his CT has actually gone down waiting just in case he decides to move in that direction. Instead, though, it looks to be a very quick A split, as they've already got a couple of players around main, including an opening that's come through from S-attack. Although Mezzi, I was going to say, in a strong position. blamef eventually getting himself the kill in towards the vent. Mezzi does return one, but now they can head down the vent towards B.
And get some trades, get a bomb plant, and get an after plant to work with, because they haven't really had that for a long time. coldzera will actually look for Mezzi. And there we go. That's the entrance that they could possibly work with.
Yeah, looking like there might be a bit towards the end of the half here for Complexity. If they can bring it to 3, if they can get the pistol round, they get things going early on, then there's still a chance for them to get a bit of a fight going. But obviously there's not going to be room for any mistakes to be made, and they still need to close this out. And it looks like they should. Smooya was under heavy pressure right there, rattling off shots, hoping to be able to land one, but it doesn't quite work out. And
he's tapping away through this ramp smoke, looking for more damage. The Incendio is nicely timed. It'll actually force JKS to go in first, but coldzera will follow and get an instant trade. So 4v4 to work with. This is a must-win, probably, if Complexity want a chance in this map and this entire best of 3. And actually, Estag does really well to deal with Brollan. Only just, though. And that means that Alex can trade it and recover the situation. 3 versus 3 once again, and he's been so solid on the entries, on the trades, on literally everything. coldzera will finally catch Smooya a little bit off guard, and that might give them a chance now. 3 versus 2, 55 seconds to go, but it's the 2 British kings left to face.
oh, Mezzy catches the shoulder of Flame. That's actually going to be an incredibly difficult position to get out of. Oh, the timing. Never mind. I was going to say he might just escape. Mezzy just swings it, though. Likely just to play off of the contact of coldzera, and the question is now, are those windows broken, or are they going to have to make noise as they move forward? Likely to have to give a little bit of a notice at least. The molly actually in on top of Alu, it doesn't quite spread to him, so he's given a bit of room to post up on that op and wait for the push in from Mezzy.
And that might actually be the best way to go, wouldn't it? I mean, you know, if you've got the skill on the team, you can actually hit the headshots, but maybe the strategy won't not work for them, and Alu actually will catch the first. Crim's trying to dive down the vents, but will stop him. So that's the first piece of the plan that probably hasn't gone Fnatic's way, and because of that, they're just going to strafe into A, quite literally. Smooya doing some KZ round the angle. He'll get himself the first toward Alu, but unfortunately Estag taking Mezzy, and coldzera dealing with Alex could make this one pretty hard to find, and now it's just Brollan remaining. With an insane 18-6 scoreline. I think this might be a little bit beyond him. Ball on his back. They actually line up. Some damage done to Blame as well. He has to hide for a little bit longer. coldzera gets taken down, and now he can afford to possibly reposition and do something a little bit more fancy. A little bit of a shoulder peek coming in toward ramps. A bit of a duel, but it's a hard one to find, and JKS will hit the headshot. So very nicely done from Complexity. It's probably a best of 3 that Complexity will want to forget about very quickly indeed. He's going to go very aggressive with the M4 early on. Holds down Mouse 1, gets so much damage, but he has Estag in support. They do go 2 for 1, and Brollan's down to 27 HP as well. So that's a nice choice from Complexity. It keeps them interested, at least.
Yeah, it was needed aggression. I'm surprised he didn't get a little bit more from it. I think the bullet, the box rather, unfortunately ate a few of his bullets because it was such a tight angle, but still coming away with Brollan on 27, both Crims and Smooya being just weakened up a small bit. It is going to be a massive opportunity as Complexity have got themselves in a fantastic position with still a ton of time, I was going to say, for them to kind of position themselves. Unfortunately though, Alu had still been aggressive on towards outside, didn't really have any weaponry to work with either. Not the best of weaponry anyway. I believe it was the FAMAS even. Unfortunately, he's been taken down, given maybe a little bit of hope here to Crims and Smooya. The aggression gets punished as well from JKS. I'm surprised he goes for it. They have the 3-on-2 at that stage. Ideally, you want to be just keeping the advantage. I guess they weren't quite sure where the push was going to go, but they keep getting caught. Smooya with a tremendous round, getting himself 2, but suddenly now being left alone as BlameF actually catches the bomb in rotation. And well, the damage done towards both of these players means it's only a single bullet that needs to land from either of them. But it's BlameF who's got the angle posted up, waiting for Smooya to come forward, and it's an easy shot to be landed. 1 kills, only 8 deaths. He's having a wild one at the moment. He had like 3 multi-frags, I think, early on, and he's making it happen again. Brollan with 2 quick-fire headshots. So they look to move now in towards B. The low-health Brollan moving in initially to try and at least confirm the position of JKS, which he's able to do successfully. JKS actually gets away with a bit of damage on top of that over towards Crims, but he's not able to get the kill. And while Mezzy on the lurk with that deagle struggles, if he had the extra body damage, that likely would have been his. But Alu jumping around avoids the head being caught anyway. They're going to save the op over. It'll give them something to work with, but Fnatic are going to go ahead and steal themselves a 14th round.
When he goes down first, there's just, it just cuts the time down immediately. And then he's going to just jump on top of BlameF. Very easy for him. Second entry for Mezzy. Brollan's there to help out toward Cold, and this force buy already has been put to bed. And it's basically all down to Alu and JKS, or at least JKS, trying to help Alu save the AWP. And it's a tough game for them. up against one of those two, especially Enter, but pretty insane.
But at least they have the utility to try and stop the early aggression from Fnatic, which has been a bit of an issue for them. You can see Brolin, he's just always in there looking actively for a pick within the first couple of seconds, and he's already found one. Catches JKS over on ramp, taking a small bit of damage, and now forcing Complexity to try and make some plays, to try and salvage the situation as it just crumbles. Alex finds himself a double coming in from main. It's a 5-on-2, and it looks like this is going to be it for Complexity. As we said, it won't be the end of the road for them because it is double elimination. But it's going to be, unfortunately, the lower bracket from here on out if they want to actually get one of those.